Hi, everybody. I'm going to keep it kind of quiet in this live because I don't want to interrupt stuff going on elsewhere. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to my live. Thanks, Net and YouTube, for allowing this live, even though part of the live is to change who runs YouTube. We can't really stop all this stuff if we don't change Google and change Facebook and change Twitter, change all the people who are running our platforms for talking about it. But hopefully, Net and YouTube will pick some people who aren't Trump terrorists. Somebody who's against Trump is who I really want to talk to in this live. So, wish me luck. We'll see. So, the big question is Trump the first ruler to try to start a civil war in his own country? I just don't know enough history, or maybe I'm forgetting like a really glaring example. Netanyahu, is Trump the first ruler to try to start a civil war in his own country? I think it's debatable if Netanyahu is trying to start a civil war in his own country or not. Trump, it's not debatable. Trump is definitely trying to start a civil war in America. And is he the first person to do it? That's my big question. Well, it's not the big question. The big question is to, once people recognize that Trump is trying to start a civil war here, to get people to talk about it and get people to talk about how we stop it, how we prevent him from having that civil war. Now, preventing Trump's civil war in America could also be the key to preventing all wars everywhere, to ending war entirely, which I think is very much worth doing it live for a few minutes about. I'll do it again later if we don't manage to stop Trump today, don't manage to stop war, Civil War and World War III today. But we could stop it today. I mean, honestly, we can come to the conclusions that we need to come to make sure that war itself is over and that we end all the wars that we're currently in. Not with some strongman promise like Trump lied to everybody, obviously proved to be lies, but with just by spreading the truth. And the truth is, Trump's trying to start a civil war in America for a couple of big reasons. One, to destroy America for Putin, and another one's to distract from Putin starting World War III. It's all for Putin. I mean, obviously, Trump wants to have a civil war in America for Putin. He has to destroy America for Putin. That's always been his probably kind of his main goal regarding America. But also to keep America from joining Putin's World War III, from stopping Putin in World War III. It's, part of the same plan. How do we know Trump is trying to start a civil war in America? Well, for one, they've been bragging about it for months. They keep bragging about how they want to start a civil war and how they're getting so good at starting civil wars and stuff like this. They've been bragging about that for a long time. And the left isn't trying to start a civil war or bragging about that or trying to, redo the Civil War. They want a rematch, But they're going to lose. If they do start Civil War II, they're going to lose it a lot faster than they lost Civil War I. At the same time, they're going to try to start Civil War II concurrent with Putin trying to start World War III. So they're trying to keep America out of World War III by being like, well, we got our own civil war we started over here, so can't help. But I don't think they're going to get away with any of this, for one, because I'm sitting here calling it out to one person that Net and YouTube has found from my life. But, to anybody who sees this video in the future, too. Thanks, future people. Hopefully you'll see it in the near future, or you'll see it when you've already done this stuff. You can say, oh, yeah, people at least knew. Net and YouTube just wouldn't let anybody hear the people who knew what needed to be done. So anyway, we need to repurpose their churches. Well, there's nobody in here I can say this. Shh. We need to repurpose their churches. The Church of Judas helps us do this. Jesus has a secret plan where Jesus set Judas aside outside of all Christianity, so he's not responsible for anything Christianity's ever done. And then Judas can come back in and replace all the Christian churches. And when he replaces all the Christian churches, Catholic, Orthodox churches, Mormon church, all of them, then we'll end empire and war and stuff as well. I'd like to point out that it was a Mormon extremist, a Mormon terrorist, MAGA on MAGA crime, Trump Putin on Trump Putin crime, that Trump and Putin are trying to use to start a civil war in America. We just need to not fall for it. Don't do what they want you to do. Don't believe what the lies they're telling you, and don't do what they're trying to get you to do. Trump and Putin activated the Nick Fuentes Trump and Putin branch of their terrorist network to kill Charlie Kirk of the Charlie Kirk Trump and Putin branch of their terrorist network. So far, it's just them. But of course, they're trying to prompt revenge killings or retaliation killings. They're trying to prompt killings of trans people, killings of Democrats and leftists, because that's their whole goal. That's their whole plan. They're terrorists. So, first of all, we've got to spread the word that it's them doing it themselves. It's MAGA on MAGA crime. Enough that nobody wants to fall for their demonizing trans people or attacking trans or left people, trans or leftist people. No Trump-Putiners want to fall for their attempts to get the Trump-Putiners to attack Americans. That's one goal. Another goal is keep calling for the Epstein files. If Trump did orchestrate this to punish Charlie Kirk for calling for the Epstein files, all the more reason we need to call for the Epstein files. Or if Israel did this to Charlie Kirk for criticizing Israel, or he didn't even criticize Israel. He just said that Israel and IDF and the Mossad, the Israeli intelligence, told him that they would murder him if he criticized them. And that got out, and maybe that was enough. At the same time, the head of the Israel's cybersecurity was busted in Las Vegas in a pedo sting about 2 weeks ago. Nobody reported on it because they let him go. And if you let him go, then you're a pedo too. But if you support Trump, you're already a pedo and a terrorist and a traitor and a Nazi. So the point being that stop being a Nazi, stop being a traitor, stop being a pedophile, stop being a Trump-Putineer, stop being a traitor terrorist. Trump had the Nick Fuentes supporter killed Charlie Kirk the same day that Putin attacked Poland and Trump attacked the largest Polish American city in America, Chicago. Like, this is all coordinated. Zelensky just called him out yesterday or a couple of days ago, saying, look, this is a coordinated attack. You planned this attack on Poland for weeks, just like Trump has been talking about his attack on Chicago for weeks. And then they did it on the same day. And then they had their Nick Fuentes terrorist assassinate their Charlie Kirk, or murder their Charlie Kirk terrorist. Apparently, it's technically not an assassination unless it's like a political leader. So they had their Nick Fuentes terrorist, Putin and Trump had their Nick Fuentes terrorist murder Putin and Trump's Charlie Kirk terrorist. Like, you could say, there's really no loss there. Like, in fact, it's a win-win. Except it's not, because they're doing it in order to demonize trans people, to set off more violence. They're doing it to start a civil war. And is Trump the first ruler to ever try to start a civil war in his own country? I can't think of anybody. You could say Netanyahu, but that's a little more complicated argument to make. It's really clear cut that Trump's trying to start a civil war. His supporters are all bragging about trying to still start a civil war. What he's doing is the type of stuff you would do to start a civil war. Create a lot of division and resentment and anger. Have a target to blame trans people and communists and leftists and stuff. Have one of your own people shoot your people to get it started, and then see if it gets started. And when it doesn't get started, they have to double down on the transphobia. They have to try to make somebody trans in order to try to get somebody, to hurt trans people more. And what is that? They want to start a civil war. And they had to threaten the HBCUs. I can't ever forget that. They wanted to demonize trans people and threaten black people at the same time. A very Klan, a very neo-Nazi, a very Trump-Putineer direction to take it. But they had to do this because it's their plan. Their plan is to demonize trans people, to get terrorists to attack Americans, and to start a civil war. And we should just not let them have their civil war. And even if they do have the civil war, you can say it hasn't started yet. And so I've at least been making this content to call it out, say, look, this is obviously their plan. Let's not let them get away with it. Let's stop them in other ways before they get their civil war started. And Trump's doing it to distract from Chicago and from Poland. He's doing it to help Putin. He's doing it to, avoid his duties to NATO and to the EU and to Poland. And, he's a total Putin puppet. And anybody who supports him will always be seen in history as somebody who tried to help Putin and Trump destroy America. They won't, there won't be the nuance of saying, well, these idiots thought they were helping America. I mean, yeah, they'll show all you guys posting American flags and eagles and stuff and Jesus and stuff, but you're Antichrist and you're anti-American. And we can help you out of that, but, you should see where it's going right now. You killed Charlie Kirk. Your network, your side killed Charlie Kirk. You got all crying about it and got all angry and threatening about it. And you should have realized by now that you did it to yourselves. And they're going to do it if, Charlie Kirk wasn't above Trump having him killed. None of you are. J.D. Vance knows he isn't. That's why he hadn't taken Trump out with the 25th Amendment yet. He can easily call for Trump's removal under the 25th Amendment based on dozens of things Trump's done to show he's unfit for office. But J.D. Vance is afraid. And J.D. Vance would be a lot easier to topple because, one, he'd have all the crazy terrorist Trump-Putineer supporters against him. He'd probably do the same thing this Nick Fuentes guy did to Charlie Kirk. Or You know, his boots are so high heeled, he'd be really easy to topple. So anyway, I might shut this down because again, net and YouTube hasn't found anybody good for my live. It's just found 3 people who were quiet slash Nazis. I mean, again, I wouldn't assume you were Nazis if it wasn't for the fact that net and YouTube always picks Nazis for my live. Yeah, I get one American or one good person out of about 100, or maybe out of every 1,000 people. So I need to get up to about 100 or 1,000 people in my life before I can find one good person. You know, I don't think that reflects our society at all. And I think if you guys actually do start a civil war too, you'll find out how much that doesn't reflect our society. How much it's actually, in the real world, it's quite the opposite. There's 1,000 Americans for every one of you Nazi pedophile Trumputineers. Over 1,000. And y'all are going to be wiped out and mopped up real quick. Your little terrorist networks are going to be mopped up real quick. And right now, that's what they should be doing. They should be mopping up the Nick Fuentes network right now because you guys just shot Charlie Kirk. You know, y'all gave us huge shit about who killed Charlie Kirk until it turns out it was one of you. But if you just acted appropriately, you just lived up to the statements you were making when you wanted to call it a leftist or a trans person, and you took that same vigor and purpose and duty to Nick Fuentes and Trump and Putin, if you followed the Nick Fuentes, Trump and Putin pipeline, you'd solve the problem. But you know, our FBI is Timu KGB right now. Like, they're just the KGB, but not as good. You know, they're just wannabe KGB over here working for Putin and Trump. You know, who's supposed to stop them? I guess we are. And so I'm doing my part, but of course, Net and YouTube won't let it be seen by anybody. So when Net and YouTube only picks Nazis and pedophiles and trolls for my live, there's not a whole lot I can do. At least they're not bold enough to comment, so I don't end up arguing with them. But what I'll do now, I think, is just shut down the live, let it post so that good people can find it in the future, since Net and YouTube won't show it to anybody good while I'm doing it live. Disappointing. But while there's 6 people in here, I'll ask you one more time: is Trump the first ruler who tried to start a civil war with his own people, or start a civil war in his own country? Is there any other reason for doing that other than to destroy our country for Putin and to keep America out of Putin's World War III? Because Putin's trying to start World War III, or did just start World War III, and Putin's keeping America out of it by having Trump start World War II. I mean, Civil War II here. I just want to point out that y'all are going to lose Civil War II a lot faster than you lost Civil War I. And you shouldn't start it. You should listen to me. But Net and YouTube won't let that happen. So maybe if this gets out there, or some of my other videos get out there, or anybody else talking about this gets out there because they're not as suppressed as I am, maybe somebody else will just have an epiphany about it, and their channel won't have been as suppressed as mine this entire time. And then the message will get out there. But the other messages I want to get out there: automatic citizenship for everyone they contact, a pathway for people in the military and guard to leave until Trader Trump is gone, return without benefits, get full pay to stay home, call it the Pillow Revolution, stay in bed, get paid. And for us to do the Pillow Revolution, just stay in bed, stay safely away from being targets of these fascists, but put stuff online and post about it online, because the truth is a lot stronger than, I don't know, much respect to everybody who goes out into the streets to do stuff too, but we got to call these guys out. It's MAGA on MAGA crime. It's Mormonic extremism. It's Mormonic terrorism, Mormon terrorism. It's a MAGA killing MAGA, which you could say is something to celebrate, except the fact that they're trying to turn it into Civil War II. That Trump is, as far as I know, the first ruler in history who's tried to start a civil war in his own country to destroy that country. And why would anybody do that unless they're working for Putin to destroy us, which every other thing Trump does makes clear as well. All right, no likes, no comments, no supporters. Looks like just a bunch of Trumputineers, or like boring people or bots or something that Net and YouTube has found for my life. So I'll shut it down, and hopefully good people will see this in the future. Too bad Net and YouTube can't find anybody good to show this to while I'm doing it, because I'd love to talk to people who have anything good to say. But all I get are the Trumputineer, Nazi, pedophile, traitor terrorists in my life. But I just want to point out, you guys killed Charlie Kirk. I'm not mad about that, but I'm mad about how you're trying to blame trans people, trying to start Civil War II, and stop. Like, stop being you. All this, stop. Anyway, change what you are if you support Trump and Putin and any of these Nazis who are killing each other now, but we don't need to let that turn into killing other people. They tried to demonize trans people over it, and are still trying to demonize trans people and blame trans people for their own terrorist killings of each other. And they threatened HBCUs. They're like threatening black people. Just like after Trump won the election, they sent out this robocalls or all these threats to thousands of black kids, threatening them. because Trump won. Now, I always wondered why they did that. Did they have those ready in case Kamala won? And they wanted to threaten the black people as soon as possible if Kamala won? And since they had them ready, they just wanted to go ahead and let them go since they had them already? Or was it just a flex to say, now that Trump's won, we're going to be threatening black people left and right and starting our Civil War II South Rising again? Like, we need to stop them. Okay, they're Nazis, they're Klansmen, they're terrorists, and they're pedophiles. We now know that they're all pedophiles too. They did catch the head of Israel cybersecurity in a pedophile sting about a week or two ago in Las Vegas, and they let him go, which makes the people who were catching pedophiles become pedophiles because they let a pedophile go. And if the 7 of you, even though Net and YouTube only found 7 of you, if the 7 of you don't say something about that, you're a pedophile too, because you're letting him go. So if they hadn't let him go, then we wouldn't have the duty to be talking about it, I guess. But since they did let him go and became pedophiles, it's our duty to call out the pedophiles that they're letting go so that we don't become pedophiles as well. I don't mean it's going to make you perpetrate on kids, but if you're protecting a pedophile, then you're a pedophile. And that goes for supporting Trump too. If you support Trump right now, you're a pedophile. They caught, for the 15 people in here now, they caught the head of Israel cybersecurity in a pedophile sting about a couple weeks ago, and they let him go. So don't let him go. And Trump is trying to start Civil War II in America, so don't let him do it. I don't know. The real Majora says like Biden. I don't know. I thought you guys thought Biden was a robot. I thought you guys thought Biden was dead. Trump is currently a pedophile, currently in office, currently trying to start Civil War II, and trying to help Putin do World War III. That's what you're doing. So you're a Nazi, you're a pedophile. Okay, just by trying to deflect to Biden, it's enough to show that you're a pedophile. So we'll get your channel activity for the Nazi hunters. You joined 3 years ago, you got 0 subscribers. That's the real Majora, all spelled, which you shouldn't be besmirching anything Zelda related with that name. I hope that's not what your name's supposed to be. But it's the real Majora, but with no spaces. Capital T, capital R, capital M, A, J, O, R, A. That's right, we hunt Nazis and pedophiles here. Okay? You just made the list. Stop being goddamn Nazis and pedophiles. Trump's trying to start Civil War II. He's trying to help Putin win his World War III. Putin's trying to start World War III. Putin did just start World War III by attacking Poland and Romania. And, it should be on. It should be over. We should end World War III a lot faster and easier than we ended World War II. And we're going to win this one too. And we should end Civil War II a lot faster and easier than we won Civil War I. Well, we're going to win this one too. Just to let you know, if Trump's been telling you that he wants to start Civil War I, Civil War II in order to make America more white, it's going to be less white. It's going to be significantly less white by the time we're done with you. Okay, the purple platypus says off, which I don't know what that is. I'm not going to make any judgments on the purple platypus versus for making the statement off, A-U-F, and then retracting it. Joined a year ago, has 5 subscribers. Purple platypus, A. What are you saying, purple platypus? If you're trying to troll, this isn't the place, okay? Trump's trying to start World War II, or Trump's trying to start Civil War II in America by having one of his terrorist network kill another one of his terrorist network. The Nick Fuentes, Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin wing of his terrorist network just killed Charlie Kirk of the Charlie Kirk, Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin wing of his terrorist network. Like, this is so obvious and in front of your faces. And he's trying to make... There's 15 of you in here now. Trump's trying to start a civil war. Okay? Has there ever been a ruler who's tried to start a civil war before in his own country? No. Why would he be doing this? He's doing it for Putin. Okay? I'm sorry, I'm not getting any responses with this. I'm going to shut it down because it's already gone 18 minutes. This way they can select the live highlight that people can see pretty soon. And a 19-minute live will be posted for everybody to watch in the future within, 1 hour to 16 hours. So I'm not going to stretch it out any longer, so at least it can be posted and find some decent people in the future, since we couldn't find any decent people live. Really sad that 12 people in here right now. None of you are good people. And out of probably 200 or something that have come through this live in this 20 minutes, 200 or 300, none of you have been good people. None of you are anti-Trump. It's really pathetic. It really shows how Net and YouTube is a fascist Nazi cell, terrorist cell, and needs to be shaped up. John says, I sure hope so. You sure hope what? That Trump starts a civil war? You guys have been cheering on a civil war the whole time, okay? If you're with me, if you're with Americans, if you're with humanity, and you're ready for a post-Trump world, you're ready for a post-Putin world, then we can talk. But I really don't have time for you Nazis. And Net and YouTube mostly picks Nazis. 18 of you right now. But just so you know, they caught the head of Israel's cybersecurity in a pedophile sting. You guys are all pedophiles, by the way, because you support Trump, who's proven to be a pedophile. And they caught the head of Israel's cybersecurity in a pedophile sting a week or two ago, and they let him go, which I'm sure you're cheering that on because you're cheering on Israel and you're cheering on pedophilia. But that's wrong, and that proves that you're pedophiles. You're not going to say anything about it. You're not going to do anything about it. You're going to let him go too. Once again, proving on another level that you're pedophiles. You've already proved you're pedophiles because you support Trump. But now you're proving you're pedophiles because you're going to let go the head of Israel's cybersecurity, who's a pedophile. Tried to proposition a 15-year-old, turned out to be a cop. Cop turned out to be a pedophile. The cop also let him go. Okay, but Trump's trying to start Civil War too. Trump had one of his terrorists, Nick Fuentes' follower, kill another one of his terrorists, Charlie Kirk. Okay, that's what happened. Then they tried to blame trans people. They tried to blame Democrats. They tried to blame leftists. But they're Nazis. They're the ones to blame. Save your anger for Trump and Putin. Then they try to distract from Putin invading Poland. Then they try to distract from Trump invading Chicago, USA's largest Polish American community. That talking dog says, you're making yourself look bad. No, I'm calling out you goddamn Nazis. Even though no one is even arguing with me in here or agreeing with me in here, you have to say I'm making myself look bad to you Nazis? Nobody wants to look good to you Nazi pedos, okay? Nobody wants to look good to you in any way. That talking dog, all one word, only one capital T at the beginning, joined 3 years ago, has 0 subscribers. Keep talking though. Like, we're going to track down Nazi pedophiles in the future. Alec, A-L-E-C, says fuck you. Alec joined 2 months ago, 0 subscribers. Typical Trump Putiners, worthless accounts, bots and trolls, people who get canceled all the time because you can't hold back your racism. So Nick Fuentes, the Nick Fuentes Putin Trump wing of your terrorist network, just killed Charlie Kirk of the Charlie Kirk Putin Trump wing of your terrorist network. Y'all are the terrorists. Y'all are the ones trying to start World War II. Civil War II. You're going to lose Civil War II if you start it. The country's going to be a lot less white if y'all do that. Just letting you know. Your goals, the goals that you want, your clan goals, are going to be not only defeated, but they're going to backfire. Okay? It's going to be a lot less white America if you guys start Civil War II. And good, because you guys are trying to start Civil War II and a race war at the same time. That's what you guys are all about. And you're going to lose that if you start it. So don't even start it. And you're doing that to help Putin win the World War III that he's starting. And again, think about it. You're doing things for the Nazis, for Putin. You know, we were not against Putin. We're not against the Russians in World War II. But we were against the Nazis. All of our ancestors here in America were against the Nazis, or most of them. Some of y'all's ancestors were Nazis too. But now you're all Nazis. Now all Trump supporters are Nazis. And you're on the side that your ancestors are ashamed of. And Putin is a Nazi. And you're on his side. And your ancestors are ashamed of. And Russian ancestors are ashamed of. They killed like 17 million Ukrainians. The Nazis did. And then Russia's trying to kill them off, kill the rest of them off. You know? Like, y'all are super Nazi. And you need to cut it out. And Trump's trying to start a civil war in America. I can't think of another leader who's ever tried to start a civil war in the country that they currently rule. The only reason for doing that is to destroy it. So Putin and Trump are obviously trying to destroy America. You're obviously helping them if you're not willing to speak out now and say something against him. There's 26 of you in here. That means 26 people now know that Trump is trying to start a civil war in America, and you're helping him. And Net and YouTube is totally Nazi for picking 26 people for this live. To watch this live, Net and YouTube showed it to 26 people who are all Nazis and supporting Trump. 34 people who support Trump. You're all Nazi pedophiles. Tell me if you're not. Tell me if I'm wrong. But as far as I can tell, because it's Net and YouTube, and the track record from all the comments, 34 fucking Nazi pedophiles in my live right now. Tell me if you're not. Tell me if you support humanity. Tell me if you're anti-Trump, anti-Netanyahu, anti-Putin. Doesn't look like it. Looks like you got 34 fucking Nazis in here. So you might as well know. They caught the head of Israel's cybersecurity in a pedophile sting a couple weeks ago. They let him go. If the 27 of you let him go, you're pedophiles too. Trump's trying to start a civil war in America, having his Nick Fuentes Putin-Trump side of his terrorist network attack his Charlie Kirk Putin-Trump side of his terrorist network. You guys are falling for it by blaming trans people. You guys are falling for it by blaming the left. Okay, well, Ghost Samurai 1925 is a pedophile Nazi terrorist. I don't even have to read their comment. I should just start deleting you people, but I guess I want the Nazi hunters to have evidence to track you down with. So, Ghost Samurai 1925 says East is aligned, united against the devils in the West. Whatever. What country are you from, Ghost Samurai 1925? Thanks for proving my point. And Trump is on the side of the Nazis. Putin and the Nazis. And so are you. We get it. Let's go ahead and get your channel activity for the Nazi hunters and the pedophile hunters. Ghost Samurai 1925, all one word with capital G and S. Joined 10 months ago. Has 17 subscribers. That's the one. If you're looking for him, that's the one. He was in this live at this time. You know, you guys are going to be easy to track down. Just want to remind you that hunting concentration camp guards, hunting Nazis, is a noble profession. When people are heroes and hunt Nazis for the rest of their life, they're hunting down, like young 20-year-old somethings are hunting down 90-year-old Nazis. And we cheer them on. Because fuck those Nazis. Fuck you Nazis. Okay? That's how this works. All 45 of you are probably Nazi Putin, Nazi Trumputineer, terrorist, transphobe, homophobe, Nazis, traitors. Speak up if you're not. Speak up if you're not, and I'll talk to you. But I'm going to extract all the curses from you Nazi pedophiles, and I'm going to curse Putin with them. I'm going to extract all the curses from you Nazi terrorists. Oh, great. We got Ghost Samurai's address. Here we go. For the Nazi and pedophile hunters, we got an address. Screenshot that shit. All right. 851 Wagon Wheel Circle, Fayetteville, Georgia, 30214, if you don't want to scroll back through the chat replay. I'm going to read less of these comments knowing that the Nazi hunters can just look through the chat replay and find them. Jacob Lowe, Lowe, is a Nazi pedophile who says, Nazi pedophile Trumputineer who says, get your hateful speech off here. We are done with your BS. No, you're feeling attacked because you're a Nazi and you're a pedophile. And the BS that you're done with is Trump's BS. But you're the perfect candidate, Jacob Lowe. I will extract the curses from Jacob Lowe, and I'll curse Trump with them. Last time we did this, you guys lost one of your bishops. I will extract the curses from Jacob Lowe, and I'll curse Putin with them. Y'all better get the fuck out of here before I get your curses too and send them back where they came from. I will extract the curses from Jacob Lowe, and I'll curse Netanyahu with them. And I'll extract the curses from these pedophile Trumputineers, all 34 of you in my comment section right now, and I'll curse Putin with them. And I'll extract the curses from all 33 of you Nazi pedophile Trumputineer traitors, and I'll curse Putin with them. I'll extract the curses from all 33 of you Nazi pedophile Trumputineer traitors, and I'll curse Trump with them. And I'll extract the curses from all 33 of you Nazi pedophile traitors, and I'll curse Netanyahu with them. So you did some good in your life against your will today. John Lacombe. John space small l, or maybe it's IACOMBE, says, you might want to look around the world to see what's happening, LOL uninformed. Take your own advice, you projecting pedophile Nazi Trumputineer terrorist. You know, read your own words. Nazi pedophile Trumputineer Jacob Lowe says, everyone report his stream, get him banned. You'll never get me banned. YouTube isn't that powerful, okay? I got Jesus on my side. You don't have nothing. You have nothing. You have zero power on your side. You just have an evil Antichrist, Trump and Putin. And yeah, you think you're the first Nazi in my life who's trying to tell everybody to report me? No, you're just a Nazi. You're just a book-burning Nazi. And you can't burn enough books in schools these days, so you're coming to my live to try to burn my live down. All it's showing is you're a Nazi, okay? YouTube needs to ban your channel for supporting Nazi extremism. Jacob Lowe joined 3 years ago, but it's no loss. You'll make another channel, you know. The guy who shot Charlie Kirk, he'd been a groyper for probably 7 or 10 years. He'd been a groyper since he was 13 years old. Somebody could have just stopped him. Somebody could have just cut off his account. He probably shouldn't have even been on the sites, who knows? They don't have age limits on their sites because they're pedophiles. They caught you guys on Roblox, didn't they? They probably recruited you guys on Roblox, huh? Bubba says, so messed up you can't even talk right. Are you talking to your Nazi pedophile comrades, fellow Klansmen in the comments? Because you ain't talking to me. I live in Colorado. Ghost Samurai 1925, the Nazi pedophile, says, I'm not hiding from shit home built for war. I'm here to murk pedophiles. No, you're not. You know who the pedophile is. Trump. Oh, wait. Are you the real killer? Did you get Charlie Kirk? Ghost Samurai 1925 at 851 Rag and Wheel Circle, Fayetteville, Georgia 30214. Yeah, that might be your real killer right there. He says he wants to murk pedophiles. Charlie Kirk's a pedophile. We know Charlie Kirk's a pedophile because he was calling for the Epstein files, but then he stopped. He was calling for the Epstein files for 1 weekend. And then he was like, actually, I'm going to trust my government on this. I'm going to trust my government. I'm really scared. I'm going to trust my government. That's Charlie Kirk. I'm going to trust. I can't make my face small enough. I'm going to trust my government. I'm so scared. I'm going to trust my government. I can't make my head 15 times larger and my face 20 times smaller. But I'm going to trust my government. That's what got him killed. That's what made you guys kill him. That's what made you pedo murkers kill him. So yeah, I would look at Ghost Samurai. Oh, that's right. Our FBI is just Team KGB. They would just recruit Ghost Samurai or give him a reward or something if he was the one who killed Charlie Kirk. Jack Halmey, Halmey, says, in all caps, you have no idea what we are about. You're insane. I know you're a Nazi. I know you're a pedophile. Sorry, I think you're the insane ones, the Nazis and pedophiles. All right, we got a like. Sounds like an American. Out of probably 500 people who've been through here, one American showed up. Wow. Thanks, Net and YouTube, you terrorist Klan pedophile cell. Bubba says, do you have jaundice? I have a yellowish light. Thanks, Dr. Bubba. Ghost Samurai 1925 says, blurred out home. I guess he's saying that his home has been blurred out on Google Maps or something. Like, nobody cares, okay? Like, turn yourself in. We don't need to hunt you down even though you gave us your address, you idiot. Just turn yourself in. You're a pedophile. You're a Nazi. You're a traitor. Or you can just accept the fact that that's what you are, and I'll tell you how to stop being that. All 48 of you know that they caught Israel's head of cybersecurity in a pedophile sting a week or two ago, and then they let him go, which makes them pedophiles. If you let that go without saying something about it, you're a pedophile. Caught you. To catch a predator, just caught 42 of you. 6 of you left real quick. See, oh, I'm not obligated to report that they caught the head of Israel's cybersecurity to prove that I'm not a pedophile. Yeah, you are. You are. You're all just pedophiles. You're not going to do anything about it because you're pedophiles. Foolyman247 says, how do you tell about Charlie Kirk? Tell what about him? That he's a Nazi? Trump said he's not a Nazi, so he is. Trump lies about everything. Rick DeRock says, what's the definition of a Nazi? Trump? Trump-Putiners are worse than Nazis. Trump-Putiners are all pedophiles, too. Okay? Every Nazi wasn't a pedophile. But every Trump-Putineer is a Nazi and a pedophile. You're worse than Nazis. Foolyman247 says, LMFAO doesn't look to be working. Working what? I haven't rescued any Nazis from being Nazis yet? Somebody else just gave me a like. I don't know. I don't think it's working because you guys are too deeply brainwashed into the not Zionist. You're too deeply brainwashed. Nazi pedophile Ghost Samurai 25 says, cyber nerds, watch what happens to him. Cyber nerds. Cyber with a capital C and N, all one word. Cyber nerds, watch what happens to him, all with capitals. Watch what happens to him with capital first letters. Fooly Man says, you look like a chomo that got raped. Is that what your problem is? You got raped and that's your excuse for being a child molester? Well, stop. Stop being that. One-step therapy. Snap the fuck out of it, you Nazi pedophile. Stop being a Nazi pedophile. I know you're projecting upon me what happened to you, and I guess I'm sorry for what happened to you, or sorry they didn't murder you. You know, I'm sorry that you survived that and became what you are today. Or you could stop being a pedophile. It's no excuse. Just because somebody did something to you is no excuse to be a pedophile. Fucking quit it. I hope they at least arrest you. But you deserve a lot worse than that. You fucking pedophile Trumpers. Ella Blaze uses some slur for people with mental handicaps, which is what Nazis do. So LL Blaze is confirmed as a Nazi. Let's check out their channel activity. Joined 14 years ago, has 2 subscribers. Foolyman247 says, read my comments, Chomo. Your comment got hidden by YouTube. YouTube was trying to protect you. Your comment was, you look like a Chomo that got raped. So you got raped. Fooly man, I'm sorry you got raped when you were a kid. That's no excuse for raping kids and standing up for more kid rapers like Trump. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You kid raping bastards. Okay, I read your comments, Fooly man. Stop making comments. Let me just time out Fooly man because we don't need it. I guess if he had more comments, he's expecting them to be read and his feelings will be hurt. Oh, like poor Charlie Kirk. They killed Charlie Kirk. Stephen Miller is so mad they killed Charlie Kirk, which that brought such delight to my heart to see Stephen Miller so mad. He deserves to die of a heart attack or worse. He deserves to die of some type of revenge. Eli Eaton says, God and Jesus both love you, and I pray that your heart is softened and you come to Jesus. That's very nice, Eli Eaton. I pray that you come to the goddess. Church of Judas replaces all patriarchy Christianity. So your church gets replaced by the Church of Judas. This isn't a threat. This is a promise. You're going to like it. Check out the hashtag Church of Judas and start spreading that message. It's the final form of Christianity. The Nazi pedophile Ghost Samurai 25 says 3 things in a row. I'll read all 3 of them. Jesus couldn't save Jesus. Eli, what's up, homie? Ooh, weird. Don't try to associate yourself with this Nazi. And Nazi pedophile Ghost Samurai 1925 says Chomo Chump Trump. Yeah, Trump's a pedophile. Why are you arguing with me, Ghost Samurai, if you claim to be a merc who's against pedophiles and you know Trump's a pedophile? Why do you have any time to argue with me? We should be on the same side here, against pedophile Nazis. What the fuck is wrong with you? Or maybe you're a Nazi, but you're still against pedophiles. At least you're better than Trump-Putineers, okay? Because Trump-Putineers are Nazis who are pedophiles. Brian Carroll, Carroll, says, pride is the devil, the rainbow is a promise. Just let you know, I'm clipping this whole thing and sending it to sources. Sources. Okay, send it to sources. That's great. Send it to sources. Let those sources know that the FBI is the Team KGB working for Trump right now, working for Putin to destroy America, and they're all fucking traitors except for the one that whistleblows on the other one. Let the sources know that. Team KGB needs to have one American to turn on the rest of them, and you can like save the agency or something. You can save America. Otherwise, you guys are goddamn traitors for sure. Confirmed traitors. You didn't tell us that Tulsi Gabbard was a Russian agent? Traitors. You didn't tell us that every other Trump appointment was a Russian agent? Russian, fully brainwormed, Clanity Jr. You didn't tell us there was a Russian agent? You're traitors, okay? That's for your FBI sources. Now you got some Christian nationalist Nazi sources. Church of Judas replaces all patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism. Click that hashtag, Church of Judas. I'll put Church of Judas as a hashtag in this video or in the highlight of this video, so you can click it real easy. Church of Judas replaces your churches. We're taking your churches while you're trying to burn down our libraries and schools and government. We're taking your churches. That's right, bitch. Checkmate. All right. John Jacobs says, dude, you're gay. Oh, are you quoting the guy who shot Charlie Kirk? You're gay. If I'm reading this, I'm gay, laughing my ass off. Are you quoting the guy who shot Charlie Kirk? Again, which side are you guys on? Putin, Trump, and Nick Fuentes, or Putin, Trump, and Charlie Kirk? He's activating one terrorist network against the other one. Joshua Hall says, your party had access to all the Epstein crap for 4 years. So maybe they were protecting some of their own. Now the entire Democratic Party is voting to release the Epstein files, and the entire Republican Party is voting to keep them secret. Does that mean that every Republican's in the Epstein files and every Democrat isn't? No, it might mean that, like Lisa Murkowski, they can vote against it when they know it's not going to pass. Some of those Democrats might be in the Epstein files. They can vote to release it when they know it's not going to be released. That's not good enough. But if you're against the pedophiles, you're going to learn eventually you're against Trump. Say Trump is too hard for you, okay? But maybe you're a Klansman. Maybe you hate Jewish people. They caught the head of Israel's cybersecurity. The head of Israel's cybersecurity, Tom Abramovich. They caught him in a pedo sting in Las Vegas last week. You want to claim to be against pedophiles. So did the person who was supposedly catching him by pretending to be a 15-year-old kid. A cop who pretended to be a 15-year-old kid so that he could proposition him for sex, and they caught him. But that cop who was catching pedophiles that morning became a pedophile that afternoon when he let that guy go. And you're a pedophile now too, because you're going to let that go, aren't you? You're not going to tell anybody about that. You're going to let him go and protect that pedophile. So you can't do that same mental exercise with Trump. I get it, because Putin's captured your brain. But if you can be at least enough against Israel and their genocide, and some people can't do that because you're Zionists and Christian nationalists, but if you can be at least enough against Israel because of their genocide to believe and understand and look up the fact that they caught the head of Israel's cybersecurity in a pedophile sting last week, and they let him go, then you either become a pedophile by letting that go, or you change who you fucking are and start calling these people out. Because you've been calling out the wrong side. We just proved it was MAGA on MAGA crime. It was Mormon extremism. It was Mormon terrorism. One of you killed Charlie Kirk. You killed Charlie Kirk. Okay? Are you mad about it? Be mad with your damn self. Be mad with your masters, Trump and Putin. Ghost Samurai, 1925. The Nazi Trump Putineer pedophile. Scroll through how many comments I got left to read, because I'm going to read them a lot faster. Everybody in comments so far has been a Nazi and a pedophile. So I'll try to remember to say that about every single one of them, but remember GBI agent shit himself crying, begging for help while calling me Satan in human form 1/10/2025. I guess we need to screenshot that too. So this guy's threatening Georgia Bureau of Investigations agents, or bragging about how he did something to threaten a Georgia Bureau of Investigation agent. Anyway, Antithesis is a Nazi pedophile who says your medication is wearing off. Fifth, F-I-P-F-T-H, is a Nazi pedophile who says America. Or maybe they're not maybe they're saying America, ironically. I'm sorry for accusing you of being a Nazi pedophile. Everybody else in here that I call a Nazi pedophile is confirmed a Nazi pedophile. Joshua Hall is definitely a Nazi pedophile, and he says get a job. SC4R4B, Scarab, is also a Nazi pedophile, and he says it's scary to think that people in this world think like you. Foolyman247 is a Nazi pedophile, and he says Shitzwick, Shits, W-E, capital K. Foolyman247, Nazi pedophile, says, how many times are you going to say Nazi? As many times as you Nazi pedophiles comment, I'm going to point out that you're a Nazi pedophile when you comment. You're a Nazi pedophile, traitor, terrorist, Trump-Putineer. There's some other things you are too, but those things are all confirmed. Nazi pedophile, Ghost Samurai, says, nerds, he has CP on his drives. No, that's you. He's announcing, he's calling the nerds over for a party. Foolyman247, the Nazi pedophile, says, you tranny friends killed him. Nope, you guys blame trans people, which is, only Nancy Mace has said tranny since 1982. Okay? So you're all fucking Nazis. You're all Russians. Nobody says tranny in this country. Maybe in Russia, you watch a bunch of movies from 1980 where they say tranny, and so you think people say that, but they don't. Okay? And it wasn't trans people. You blame Sky Valadez, a trans girl, for shooting Charlie Kirk. But she didn't do it. And then when it turned out that she didn't do it, because Tyler Robinson admitted to it, supposedly, you blamed him for having for lying and saying that his roommate was trans. His roommate isn't even trans. But you got to find a trans person to blame to prove that you're Nazis. You're not proving anything bad about trans people. You're just proving you're Nazis. You repeat that shit, you're a Nazi. And again, I called it out before I even read your comment. Nazi pedophile, Foolyman, F-O-O-L-Y-M-A-N 247, all one word, lowercase, Nazi pedophile, Foolyman247 says your tranny friends killed him. Nope. You're a Nazi. You're a pedophile. Zeke is a Nazi pedophile who says enjoy hell demon. Silver Shooter. Zeke is lowercase Z-E-K-E. Let's get Zeke's channel activity. Zeke joined 18 years ago, has 23 subscribers. Wow, no wonder you're so fucking pathetic. Seven Shooter says, bro, you look 40. Go get a real job. Dude, guess how old I am. Try to insult me, you stupid Nazi fucks. Steven Shooters joined 11 years ago, has 2 subscribers. Blooming Day says hi. Hi, Blooming Day. Sorry, Blooming Day could be like a normal, I was thinking of like the Australian bloomin' onions. But thanks, Blooming Day. Nice to see a person in here. White man from town says, I'm a Nazi. What now, bitch? You're a Nazi pedophile traitor. White man from town is a Nazi pedophile traitor, terrorist. He joined 3 months ago and has 2 subscribers. And he looks like he's got, I don't know, what's his name as a profile picture. Anyway, it's not important. Senna left a long comment. Senna, oh great. I'm glad I read your comment. Started your comment before reacting as if you were one of them. 53 or 52 Nazi pedophile traitors. Wait, 65 Nazi pedophile traitors in here. 2 people, Blooming Day and Senna. Crazy. Net and YouTube picks so many Nazis for my channel. It's really crazy. Okay, what does Senna say? All these evil people in this chat. All of you chatters should be ashamed. Keep speaking truth, Euless. Thank you. Euless is the name of my YouTube channel if you never need to look it up. But I go by Puffin. You can call me Puffin or Andrew. Thank you, Senna. I'm just going to screenshot that because it's so nice to get a supportive comment. I might have to shut down the live after this. But I got one supportive comment. Senna, if you're still here, I would much rather just talk to you. I can explain to you how the Church of Judas replaces all patriarchy, Christianity, war, and Trumpism. We're going to replace their churches for all this bullshit they did. We can't blame Jesus for Hitler. We can't blame Jesus for Putin. We can't blame Jesus for Trump. But we can damn sure blame Christianity for Hitler. We can blame Christianity for Putin. We can blame Christianity for Trump. Christianity's fucking Antichrist. Okay? Jesus set Judas aside outside of Christianity. He gave Judas a way out, like a special place, a safe space. Although everybody hated Judas the entire time, but that kept him out of Christianity. So Jesus set Judas outside of Christianity so he can come back now and replace all the evil that Christianity has become. We don't need to go over the evils. And you guys believe in them anyway. That's like you guys' jam. That's you guys' brand. But we're going to replace all the evils of Christianity. And now that 74 of you are in here, you know that the Church of Judas, check out hashtag Church of Judas, the hashtag Church of Judas, Judas replaces all patriarchy Christianity. So click that and find out more about it and tell somebody about it. But also tell somebody that they caught the head of Israel's cybersecurity in a pedo sting in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago, and they let him go. And if the 69 of you don't say something about it, you're letting him go too, which makes you pedophiles. All right. Fooly Man says, no, you can't, LOL. Don't even know what you're talking about. Chris Babcock says, Thai fat ass has one thumb up. Thai fat ass has one thumb up, LOL. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, Chris Babcock. I better shut down this live, dude. Chris Babcock says, Lord, this guy is too stupid to listen to. Goodbye. Oh my gosh, you said too wrong both times. Chris Babcock, I wasn't going to screenshot your comments, but now it's too richly stupid to not screenshot it. Chris Babcock, obvious Nazi pedophile, says Thai, Thai, Thai fat ass. Hold on, stop commenting. I'm trying to read Chris Babcock comments. Stop commenting, you stupid Nazis. Don't retract your comments, Chris Babcock. Oh my gosh, how many people have been commenting? Stop commenting. Okay, this is what Chris Babcock said, though. You guys got to hear this. It's so stupid. Thai fat ass has one thumb up, LOL. Is that like Russian syntax or something? I told you, stop commenting, you stupid Nazis. Why can't you listen to directions when they come from humans? Why can you only listen to directions that come from Nazis? What if I said, stop commenting now, or Charlie Kirk, fate happens to you? Chris Babcock says, Lord, this guy is too, T-O, stupid to listen to, T-O-O. Bye-bye. Okay, the way you should have said, I'm not a grammar Trump-Putineer, but Lord, this guy is T-O-O stupid. Too stupid means too stupid, too much stupid, too many O's. Too stupid. Two, you got the second two right. To do something is two. To listen to, but if you're listening to something, it's T-O, just one O. But I'm glad Chris Babcock is gone and didn't get that special information to sound like not an idiot in the future, because he'll just keep on sounding like an idiot. Lord, this guy is too stupid to listen to. Bye-bye. Anyway. Seven Shooter says, you're not very bright. I don't know. I just gave you guys a grammar lesson. Blooming Day says, I didn't know Trump was a pedo. Oh, okay. I'm just going to assume that you're not from Earth. Blooming Day. Yeah, Trump's a pedo. Marquita Darby said, hi. Hello, Marquita Darby. I like your name. Step by step, they all fall down like toy soldiers. Weird. Why couldn't I look at your channel activity? I can look at everybody else's channel activity. That's interesting, Marquita. Anyway, I want to look at your channel activity because I'm interested in you, Marquita Darby. You got a great name. Step by step. Anyway, that's a Marquita song. That's what made me think of it. Justin Leo says, is this what vomiting CNN looks like? This is what vomiting CNN looks like? Justin Leo is a Nazi and a pedophile. Scarab says, LOL. I can't remember if Scarab is a Nazi and a pedophile or not. Who is a pedo? Trump and Trump-Putineers are pedos. KX, here's some long name. It says, you're extremely delusional. Carl Spencer's, get a job, you fucking reject. Stop commenting. I'm trying to read all your comments. I'm going to read all the comments and I'm going to shut down the live, so shut up. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, Skimmy Swigs. Skimmy Schwigs is back trying to dox. Skimmy Schwigs is back trying to dox. Oh my gosh. Trumpers only speak Chinese. Skimmy Schwigs, you're a Nazi and a pedophile, okay? I'm going to call you, Skimmy Schwigs, a Nazi and a pedophile. Hold on, I got to block Skimmy Schwigs. I got to block Skimmy Schwigs because he's a Nazi and a pedophile. He's trying to dox. There we go. Skimmy Schwigs is gone. Anyway, what are we doing here? Where did we get to in the reading the Nazi comments? We're trying to dox all these Nazis and pedophiles. Just so you know, these are the other Nazis and pedophiles on your side. Okay? Just like Nick Fuentes is on one branch of your Putin Trump terrorist network, and Charlie Kirk is on another branch of your Putin Trump terrorist network. And you're doing this to your damn selves. But I'm going to read all your comments. Here we go. Oh my God, stop commenting. I can't read them all because I'm really going to shut it down. I'm really going to shut it down, Stu. Actually, I'm from Earth. I just don't watch the news or other things. I'm not really interested in the news. Honestly, I don't care that much about people going at each other's throats for dumb reasons. Okay, well, it's just because they're pedophiles and Nazis. That's the only reason we're against them. Melody Heather Wilson says report because she's a Nazi and a pedophile. Sea Sparrow says if he is, he should be convicted for being a traitor. And 86th. I mean, I guess you can convict him. I mean, I think we can. We don't really need a trial in this situation. Sea Sparrow, but good point. Sea Sparrow. Sea Sparrow is completely correct. Ethan Stickley says you seem like a lot going on in your life. Oh, yeah, I do. I have to go somewhere. So tough being behind the camera, never in person. Nobody wants to see you in person. Nobody's ever wanted to see you in person. Megumin says this point the street is supposed to fearmonger about Trump allegations or just lefty topic to talk about. Trump's a pedophile. Trump's a Nazi. Trump's a traitor. Show proof of Trump's guilt. Your proof of Trump's guilt. Look at this network. Net and YouTube picked a whole clan's worth of Nazi traitors to come into my live right now. At least I'm wasting your time and exposing you for people to catch you in the future. Here we go. Let's read your comments. Read all your comments in 6 minutes. So you're all Nazi and pedophiles and traitors unless I specify that you're not. So I can stop saying that just because I don't have enough time to repeat it every single time. Okay, this is what vomiting CNN looks like. Who's a pedo? You're obviously extremely delusional. Can you get a job, you fucking reject? Damn right, I'm bragging. Ghost Samurai says, damn right, I'm bragging. Tell them underboss, under gods, demon king, me, Lord Shiva in human form says, hi, pull the fuck up. That's Ghost Samurai 1925. Justin Leo says, bro, go take a shower. Joey Stayham says, what a delusional meth head did I come across? Carl Spencer says his nasty ass has been wearing that shirt for a week. Go get the job, take a bath. Scarab says, what is your definition of Nazi pedos? You're finding out. All you guys, this is all evidence. Anybody who says anything that's about to be said is a Nazi pedo. Justin Leo says you're pure evil for calling out Nazi pedos, so he's a Nazi pedo. Cold Hand says, I've always said tranny and always will. They're a Nazi pedo. Cold Hands, Nazi pedo, channel activity, joined 7 years ago, 21 subscribers. Joey Statham says, I've heard people call trans people tranny. Do you have aluminum foil hat? Yeah, in the 80s. And Nancy Mace just said it, and now you're saying it now because you're trying to bring it back because you're Nazi pedophiles. Justin Leo says, this is what evil looks like. Cold Hand says, evilness. Darth Tater says, and joke's on you, Nazis don't believe in pedophiles. Yeah, see, that's the difference. Trump mutineers are pedophiles and Nazis. They're worse than Nazis because Nazis were just Nazis. Maybe some of them were pedophiles. But all Trump mutineers are Nazis and pedophiles. Darth Tater said, and joke's on you, Nazis didn't believe in pedophiles, and I believe you are one, so give me a moment while I look. Well, you won't find anything. Look away. Cold Hand says, check this freaka. Carl Spencer says, he's big mad. Cold Hand says, let's see your hard drive, cuck. I think you guys have stuff on your hard drive, and you should be investigated for that. Justin Leo says, LOL. Hexafoos says, the FBI said yesterday that his roommate was indeed transitioning. Yeah, the FBI said that because the FBI is the Timu KGB. The FBI lied to you again. They also said they caught the guy when he turned himself in. The FBI lied to you. They probably would have wanted to let him go. Just like they tried to let the MAGA terrorists in Minnesota go. Ghost Samurai says, Peachtree City Covenant of Witches went bye-bye because of me. So he's bragged twice about destroying the Peachtree City Covenant of Witches. So we need to look into that. West Coast, saying he bragged about that in a previous live too. West Coast says, coward avoiding my comment. Actually, I never saw your comment before, West Coast. So I'm not looking for it now. Tony U says, is timber from alone? Is this timber from alone? I don't know what that means. Cold Hand says, proud, white, straight Christian man. I get it. You're a Nazi. You're a Klansman. You're a pedophile. We get it. West Coast says, fucking Mossad bot. Oh, West Coast is probably talking back to the other commenters. Yeah, because you guys, if the Mossad didn't kill Charlie Kirk, and Chris Fuentes didn't kill Charlie Kirk, and Trump didn't kill Charlie Kirk, there's nobody left. That's one of the people who did it. Are you going to dox me now, says Hexafus. I don't know if you're talking to the other trolls or what. Coleman says, welcome to the watch list. Yeah, we're knitting you Nazi, Trump, and your pedos on the list too. Justin Leo says, you're evil, but he spelled it wrong. He spelled it Y-O-U-R. Coleman said, I subscribe to you so I can report you every time you go live. Well, Coleman, let's get you banned for being a Nazi. Joined 17 years ago. So let's get Coleman banned for being a Nazi. Carl Spencer says, hiding in your mommy's house, no doubt, a little boy, angry little boy. Cold Hand says, we got another for our list. Say goodbye to your job if you have one. LOL. Good luck with that. But yeah, that shows what they want to do. They want to get people fired, and they want to like cancel people and murder people and threaten people every way they can because they're terrorists and they're Nazis and they hate anybody pointing it out. Justin Leah says, you're less than human. Yeah, we know that you Nazis think that about certain groups of people. White Man from Town says, Christianity is pro-Jesus. I mean, no, Christianity is antichrist. Christianity produced Hitler, Trump, and Putin. You can't blame Jesus for that. If you do, then you don't know who Jesus is. Joey Shan said, you need a safe space with padded walls. Justin Leah says, evil. Message is held for view, and they gave me an extra special quote about it. We choose Jesus, you choose trannies. No, you guys chose an antichrist Trump. I got Jesus on my side. Trans people have Jesus on our side. Ghost Samurai says, Jews of old worship Baal and still do. Justin Leo says, you're an ignorant person. Blooming Day says, so this is a Christian stream. So first one I found today. And this is Church of Judas. This is pro-Jesus, anti-Christian. Nick Fuentes for president 2023 is what Melody Heathen Wilson said. We're definitely going to get her channel activity. Melody Heathen Wilson is a groiper like Chris Fuentes, the guy who shot Charlie Kirk. Hey man, nice shot. Oh, yeah, she identifies. I am a Nazi. Nick Fuentes for president in 2028. Anyone who disagrees with him is a Nazi pedo. He's a fascist. Nope, you're the Nazi. You're the pedo. You even said you're a Nazi. Coleman says, report Ulyss. Carl Spencer says, his grammar Nazi that makes him kind of a hypocrite. No, I said I'm not a grammar Trump boutonniere, but I will give you a grammar lesson. Okay, I'm not reading the rest of your comments. Let me see if anybody left anything. Let's go ahead and mute NinjaCon for as long as we possibly can. 24 hours. There we go. He's a Nazi. Yeah. Although NinjaCon did say, oh, you want some info on Puffy Puff? Well, he tried to swat a church. So, yeah, doxing begets doxing. I never swatted a church. I was identifying the church that you went to so that I could let them know that they were supporting a Nazi terrorist. They're literally demonstrations for Charlie Kirk in South Korea. I've heard about how racist South Korea is. I didn't know they were that racist. Okay, we're not reading any more comments. Shutting it down. Bye, Nazis. All that stuff you said. I guess you can read all that stuff you said in the chat replay. Subscribe so you can report it every time you go live, says Coleman. I'm not going anywhere. I never do anything wrong. I just point out that you guys are Nazi pedophiles. And you guys hit dog hollered. All you Nazi pedophiles get upset about it because you're Nazi pedophiles. But you get upset about it and you leave some records of your activity so people can track down and hunt the Nazi pedophiles in the future. So thanks. And again, it's MAGA on MAGA crime. It's you Trump Putineers trying to start a civil war. It's Trump trying to start a civil war. And I'm not an insa-libertarian like you Nazis are. That's you guys' thing. I'll let you go. Bye. Never come back. Or change who you are before you come back. Change everything about yourself before you come back. And I'm extracting all the curses from all you Nazi pedophile Trump Putineers. And I'm cursing Trump and Putin and Netanyahu with them.